going to talk about our favorite drinks today, coffee drinks today, especially some upcoming cold coffee drinks that we could do for summertime since summertime's coming up.
Yes, for sure. And when you are running through the drive-thrus, sometimes you think, oh, it's just coffee, doesn't have a lot to it, but you are going to be shocked at some of the amounts of sugar and fat that are in those coffee drinks that can be drank really quickly and you don't think twice about it.
Right.
So later today I am going to post some before and after kind of swaps you can do with drinks that you are going through drive-thrus for.
Right.
But a quick example is mocha. A lot of people love mochas. If you go to some of those chains and you get a mocha, one of the bigger sizes, it can have up to 80 grams of carbohydrates and sugar in it in one drink. So that is kind of insane when you think about that. So we're going to talk about ways you can do things at home to have delicious coffee drinks
without all the sugar.
Yes. All right. Go for it. What do we have first?
Okay, so today the first drink that I'm going to make for you is a cold latte, a ice cold latte. So we're going to call it the Funky Monkey because we're going to use our favorite banana almond milk that we like.
Sam, if you're watching, look at this. So it's a good day for you.
Good day. So I just started off with some cold coffee. Now you can use a special cold brew coffee. I usually don't. I usually just take I make some extra coffee in the morning. If I know I'm going to have an iced drink later, I just leave some coffee sitting in the pot all day and then I use it later in my iced coffee drinks. So this is just coffee I made this morning at like 5:30 and now it's nice and dark and ready to go into my cold coffee drink. So I just have leftover coffee and I just do 1 cup or 240, is it 240? Yep, 240 milliliters of the almond milk. Now you can definitely cut this down if you don't like that ratio because remember this is going to have 15 carbs in it, this brand of almond milk. So that's kind of up to you and what you want to use for your carbs for the day. So I'm just going to use a cup of that. So that's okay. With my scale. All right, we got the scale. So we want 240 milliliters. And that's 180. So that's close enough. Doesn't fit in there too good. And then I'm going to use a little bit of my sugar-free salted caramel syrup.
And you can get this now at Walmart, at Meijer. You can get these syrups pretty much anywhere. You don't have to go to a coffee shop for that.
Nope, you do not. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that. Again, it's kind of to your liking. If you like it super sweet, use more. If you don't like it super sweet, use less. And then I always use a mason jar to just mix up my drinks, just because it's so easy and you can just do it right in there. Mix it right up, and then all you need is a cup with some ice, and
perfect. Oh, that looks awesome.
Voila! If you like, you could add a sprinkle of cinnamon to the top, which of course is delicious, or nutmeg, anything you like.
You have a cold coffee drink right there.
Monkey.
And if you don't have coffee made or anything, you can always get cold coffee like this now at any of your grocery stores. These have a little bit of flavor in them, or you can get them black. This one is vanilla flavored, and there's nothing in this. There's no carbs, there's no fats, it's just plain coffee. This one's mocha flavored, so this one has 1 carb in it. But you can use this for on the quick go to make an iced coffee as well. If you don't have anything brewed at home. So you can always do that as well.
Yep. Best video ever is today.
Yes, coffee for the win. All right, so yeah, if you see us later and we're like, it's because we drank all the coffee drinks after the video. All right, so I am going to make a mocha, and this one's going to be a hot mocha, but if you ever wanted to, you could do it cold as well. But I'm going to talk about making a chocolate kind of ganache syrup on your own at home that's really easy and you can do instead of just using Hershey syrup, things like that. So I used this just unsweetened cocoa powder, and it doesn't have to be this brand, it could be anything, but I used 3 grams of this, and then you can use any sweetener you like. I like the monk fruit sweetener the best, and I put 1 packet of monk fruit sweetener in the bowl with the cocoa powder, and then I added water until it became just like a syrup or a like a chocolate sauce. And that's what I'm going to use to actually flavor my mocha. And you can add different sweeteners to it depending on how sweet you want it. But I like some bitterness to my chocolate. So I used that. I am going to go run and get some coffee, and then I am going to use almond milk to make this mocha.
Sounds delicious.
All right.
While she's doing that, we can talk a little bit about other things that you can purchase at the store to make your own drinks. This is a chai tea latte. It's made by Tazo, so it's the chai base. So you can make this into a latte. It could be hot or cold. What I do, since this is kind of a big serving, the serving size is 180 milliliters, and I personally don't think you need that much. I usually half this, and then I mix it with almond milk or coconut milk. And then we'll use the frother in a little bit and kind of show you how to froth your milk to mix it in to make a latte. And then again, if you just add things like cinnamon or sprinkle some cloves on the top or some nutmeg, it makes a really delicious, kind of a spicy tea latte. If you've never had chai, it's kind of like a spicy tea mix. So it's really, really good. And this you can get, I think I bought this at Meijer, but I definitely have seen it at Jewel, Walmart, and all different places like that. This one is the skinny latte. They do have a regular one, which is much, much higher in carbs and sugar. So just make sure you look out on the label that you're getting the right one. But this is nice to have on hand, keep in your fridge, and then you have a go-to drink right away.
All right, so I am going to, first we're going to talk about the frother. So as she said, this is a frother, and I have just 80 milliliters of almond milk in my mug. I'm going to take the frother. Okay, be careful. It spins very fast. You want to turn it on when it's already in here. Otherwise, almond milk everywhere. So I'm just going to stick that in. It's going to froth it up. Things like almond milk and soy milk, skim milk, they froth very well. Cashew milk does not froth as well. So you need to keep that more towards the top of the milk. But you just go around here for a few seconds. After I do it for a few seconds, I'm going to add some of that chocolate sauce that we talked about that I made so that it becomes more of a mocha. And I'm going to use almost all of it, but I'm going to reserve a little bit just for the top. So I'm going to pour some of that in there. I'm going to froth it a little bit more. All right, so.
Yum. It smells so good in here. I wish you could smell it.
What I'm going to do now is, it is frothed, my milk's frothed in here already, and instead of using more containers and dirtying more dishes because I don't want to wash any, I then just really slowly pour the coffee right into that same mug, and the frothed milk comes all the way to the top. If you can see that, it's right there on the top. From there, I am going to take a little bit of this syrup we used, and I am going to top my mocha with it. And that way you have that on the top, just like you would at a coffee shop. So here you go. Here is a mocha. Cheers. Yeah, it's really good.
Yum.
So there you go. With this mocha, compared to a mocha at a Starbucks or a Panera or any of those places, so this one right here has, what I used is this almond milk here. I used 80 milliliters. So that was no carbs and maybe 0.2 fats, because in a whole cup of this, there's only 25 calories. So you have no sugar already in there. And then using the Hershey is, we had 2 carbs in that and 2 sugars in there. And then the monk fruit sweetener had 1. So instead of about 40 to 80, you have 3 sugars, and it's still delicious.
Yep.
Much better for you. It's not going to spike your blood sugar all over the place. So this is a great swap, great go-to if you're a mocha drinker, for sure.
And a good option too if you really, really love your Starbucks drinks is keep in mind 1 pump of their, most of their syrups are 11 carbs. And they usually typically use 4 pumps per drink.
Yes.
So a good idea, maybe get 1 pump in your drink and get a pump of sugar-free to kind of mix and match, or just get 1 pump. That way you're still having that flavor, but you're definitely cutting down on all those carbs. If you still really, really want to get your favorite drinks, those are ways to do it. Take off the whipped cream. You know, just add things like cinnamon. They have all those spices there. Just add those spices to really pep up the flavor a little bit, and then you're really able to cut down on those carbs and sugars.
For sure. Another thing to do, another hack is to say just a splash of half and half or light milk. Then they put a lot less in because there is an overabundance sometimes of sweetener and creams in those. So talking about different sweeteners, creams, things to put into coffee when you're at home, some different things you can do to flavor your coffee at home without the sugary creamers and heavy creams. So this is almond milk as well, but it is unsweetened chocolate. This is a great thing to add into your coffee, especially iced coffee. I think it's awesome. Really good way to get some flavor in there, and then you can sweeten it the way you would like with whatever sweetener you prefer. Regular old half and half is a great option, and then you flavor it with vanilla extract, almond extract. There's so many different ways you can flavor this with different extracts from the grocery store and make your own creamer so you know exactly what's going inside of it. But half and half is great.
These are my fave.
Nut pods. So these are sold at some grocery stores, not all of them, but you can also order them online. But these are a great swap instead of Coffee Mate or International Delight, anything like that. These are plant-based, they're dairy-free, they're not sweet, really sweetened, but they have some of the flavor in it. So for the same serving as a normal creamer, you have 1 fat, but you have no sugars. Where a normal size of a creamer, normal serving size, has about 5 sugars. And it's not really that much a serving.
15 milliliters. Tiny.
This is a really good go-to. They have hazelnut, vanilla. They come out with different seasonal flavors as well.
The peppermint one that they come out with for Christmas is delicious.
There's an orange one that's really good.
Orange peel.
So this one I know you can get at Jewel, but these are a great option as well.
This brand, this Khalifa Farms, this is almond milk, but this brand makes a lot of very good, very low sugar creamers as well. From almond milk and coconut milk, good blends, all natural ingredients. I really like their creamers. You have to kind of look for them. They're not everywhere. Meijer doesn't usually sell them. They maybe have the one caramel one, but you kind of look for them, but they're also a good brand to look out for.
Yes, for sure. Going into the warmer months, any of these drinks that you are making that we made here so far can then also be put into a blender and made into those Frappuccino drinks. And a great way to do that without them getting watered down is taking your leftover coffee that you have that you'd normally just spill out, put in ice cube trays, and freeze it. That way when you're making those blended drinks for the summer, you're making it with blended ice from coffee, not from just water, because a lot of times we make it at home and then they get really watered down.
Doesn't taste the same.
No, and the other
great tip.
The other tip and trick when you're doing those Frappuccino kind of drinks at home is to use some xanthan gum, and that's going to make that creaminess come together instead of having it real ice chippy, which happens a lot when we make smoothies and fraps at home. So xanthan gum is what brings that together and gives that smoothness to it. All right, what's our last drink here?
I just want to talk one more thing about the Frappuccino. So if you're a non-coffee drinker, but you like chocolate milk, you could make your own Frappuccino chocolate milk out of Fairlife chocolate milk. Just Fairlife, a little bit of ice, and then if you want to add some cocoa powder for some depth, and then sometimes I put, for my kids, I do a little bit of chocolate chips, so it's like that chocolatey chip drink, and then you just blend that up, and then that is full of protein. The sugars are low on Fairlife, so then you get a nice Frappuccino blended chocolate milk drink. Delicious.
Perfect. Delicious. Very good. Okay.
All right, so the next one I'm going to do a matcha latte. So matcha is a green tea powder, and it can be hot or cold. This one I found at Jewel, and this is actually already sweetened with monk fruit. So this is a great option. You don't have to sweeten it; it's already sweetened. But I will tell you, it is very sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm only using half of this packet in my latte because I felt like it was uber sweet. So I'm using half of this packet. And what you want to do if you're making a matcha, you always want to mix it with just a tiny bit of water first because it will clump up on you. So if you don't want that clumpiness, you're going to want to just grab, again, I'm using a mason jar, just grab a splash of water. And then I just have a little whisk here, and I'm just going to whisk it all together so that there's no clumps. Okay, so then that's all combined. Then I'm just going to add regular old plain almond milk. You could definitely use coconut milk in this or regular milk, whatever suits your fancy. And again, I'm just going to do 1 cup, so 240 milliliters.
Next one, go on.
And then, again, the reason that I love the mason jars for mixing drinks is you just throw the lid on there, shake it up. And again, with the ice, and then we'll just pour it over ice. And I like a little bit of nutmeg on mine, just because I think it adds a little bit. And I just whisk that in a little bit. And that is it. Matcha tea latte, it's delicious. Let's taste it. So good. Again, it is very sweet. So if you try the half a packet and you still think that is too sweet, then even cut it down a little bit more. Or you could buy the non-sweetened version, certainly, and add your own monk fruit or your own stevia or whatever you like to sweeten it with on your own terms. That way you're getting it to the exact right sweetness level that you like.
Perfect. Delicious.
Cheers.
All right. Last but not least, I am going to make an apple pie latte. So this one I like iced, and I like it hot as well, but it's a little bit different than we usually think of. But I'm using vanilla unsweetened almond milk, and I used half a serving of half and half with the almond milk, and that's going to help froth it up and give it some of that creamy flavor. And then I am going to add a little bit of apple pie spice right into that, the almond milk and the half and half. So I'm going to put that in here. Then I'm going to use my frother again. Again, put it in first. I've done this so many times where I don't put it in first. Whoa, there we go. It gets a little crazy. And we're going to froth it. Having some of the half and half, a little bit of the half and half mixed with the almond milk really helps it get a little bit more frothy. Because again, the dairy substitutes usually don't froth as well as regular milk.
Yep.
Another swap at home or when you're out and about, most of the times those drinks are made with whole milk, and you can ask for them with skim milk, and that will help a lot to cut down. So again, then if you'd like, you can put a little bit of vanilla or caramel, depending on what you'd like in your apple pie. I'm going to put a little bit of syrup in there. And then I'm going to pour, like I said, I just really carefully pour the coffee so that the foam stays good. We got that. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of that pie spice on top. And now we have an apple pie latte.
Well, cheers again.
Cheers. You can also drizzle a little bit of caramel sauce on top if you'd like to get really fancy.
Okay.
But get creative. Coffee, it's kind of endless possibilities if you ask me.
So many options.
It runs through the veins.
And if you are a TJ Maxx fan, which everyone knows that I am. They have all these fantastic caramels there. You can choose from all these different flavors of syrups and sugar-free syrups and everything there, and they're super cheap. So.
Awesome, that's the way to go. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed this and that you can get your coffee on today and into the summer months and make this day a great day for a victory.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.